Yeah.
I don't want to toot our horn, but this might just be the best set that we have to see today.
Yeah. I'm hoping it is a pretty good set. And because of how brackets and seeding and all that stuff works, unless Mango Mode ends up getting beaten by Pickled Squids, they will be the first seed. And so we're going to be seeing the second and third seed go up against one another. So that means and this is going to be also the match we will see going into the bracket. So we'll be able to maybe see a comeback, or we might be able to see. I'm just looking forward to some back and forth action.
Right. I'm hoping to see a game 5, and we get to see these guys go off against each other potentially twice in a row. So
yeah, we do have the. What is that? The Brush Nouveau actually coming out from MHF, yeah?
Don't sleep on the Brush Nouveau. I haven't seen him play it, but I know it's very powerful in the right hands. It gets that point sensor. Not point sensor. It gets Ink Mine, which has a point sensor effect, and then it gets Baller. And it's a very fast Baller charge. As you can see in the top corner, the Ink Brush Nouveau has his Baller charged.
Yeah, and really, yes, the main weapon itself is not the strongest weapon in the world. But
the fastest, for sure.
It is the fastest, and is Rob going to do it? Rob is in a wonderful position.
He's going to do it to him. He's going to do it to him.
He's going to do it to him from behind. Oh, God. Don't take that out of context, friends. And he gets – and that was a great dunk. 80 points right now left for –
Jan out of ink. She can't move. She gets out of that predicament.
Thankfully. But only the power clam scored. So decent start for TentAttack, but maybe later is building up some power clams. They have 18 in their hands, and although TentAttack does have a power clam themselves, so will we see a pushback, or will TentAttack continue just going straight into maybe later's base?
Well, I'm hoping. Well, they do have 3 specials ready, and Sunek doesn't drop his special, so I'm hoping to see something come out of this. This could be a very powerful push. They're getting ready for the big one.
Yeah, they're getting ready for that big push, and smart idea to pop the Baller to be able to get out of just.
There's the power of the Dynamo just shredding that Baller.
Yeah. I'm wondering, is the Dynamo running Object Shredder? I'm curious.
Can we see that? We can see that. They are not running Object Shredder.
All right, but self-jump's still really good. That would be devastating. Like, Baller gets destroyed in 2 flicks.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and see what happens with TentAttack if they can stop this push. This is a very intimidating situation to be caught up against.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're kind of trapped. Like, maybe later hasn't really been able to push forward fully, but they have all this map to be able to just kind of run around and try and find their way in.
Right, like they can afford to not be aggressive right now.
Well, once they go, it is actually 2-1 down.
Oh,
so
are we gonna see? Are we gonna see? Oh,
no.
We won't see it. There you go.
Maybe later was able to get in. The ink brush is just kind of trying to come in from behind to at least get a few picks, but
just because it works in solo doesn't mean it's going to work in tournament play.
Yeah,
but we are going to see Alex juggle these 2 balls potentially.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I knew how bad that sounded the moment I said it.
Yeah. If anyone's clipping these, please send them to the Ink Debate Discord. I want to see all of these. This is great.
Let's turn back that auto spectate on again.
Yeah, it looks like, again, maybe later it's got good map control, continuing that presence, but we have Muna back here ready with the Stingray and pops it right away to try and put some pressure onto maybe later with all of their power clams that they do have.
Are we able to get it? Well, no. Unfortunately, Muna does not get a pick, but that Stingray pressure is invaluable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also,
there's a nice little snipe there. About 75 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and a great double is going to give TentAttack a lot of time to be able to build up power clams and be able to set up for that big push that they need to make. Currently only 6 for the team right now, But Vanessa.
We see specials coming on the TentAttack side, so I think they're getting ready. There's 3 ready right now. They have the Armor, they have the Baller, and the Stingray ready.
Yeah, and they're just waiting. It looks like they're waiting for the Clash Blaster to respawn and hopefully get in a better position. A little bit far from Missiles, but frankly, Missiles is only good once the push is started. It's not good to start that push.
Wow, there's two potential specials just destroyed by Yon.
Yep.
And what a solid defense.
Yeah, it looks like the Dynamo does stay up and is going to continue to hold down a good defense, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to fully hold back a push, especially since maybe later does have enough for a power clam in their hands.
30 seconds remaining. One thing I will notice is maybe later has a very shooter-heavy comp. Meanwhile, TentAttack has no shooters.
Yeah,
and we'll see.
One down, one up so far. It's just Juicy in the back, and they're almost down. They get
the push.
Oh, and that's the lead. Few seconds left and a huge lead. Vanessa comes in with a ton of clams to put even more pressure, and
the missiles too. Yeah. They can start that overtime. They don't have a clam in, so we still have some game left.
Well, it looks like we do, and the clam is gonna spawn. It looks like Sinek is gonna try and get in position to be able to get that jump in and then get a bunch more clams. Oh,
there's the game. The game's over right there.
Yeah.
That was a commentator's dream right there. That was a perfect game.
Yeah, really close. Back and forth. Forced an overtime, end of the game push. Great job to TentAttack for being able to take that one.
I hope we get even more games like this. I hope we go the full 5.
Yeah, and it looks like words, letters, how to say them.
Sound it out.
MFH did get that top KA with the brush. Great job to him. And yeah, we're going to be headed to Albacore Hotel Zones next. So it looks like we are we good to go? Let me go take a look.
Their adjustments are minimal and very quick and efficient if necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, so just kind of hanging out. We should be starting up in the next few seconds as
there you go.
TentAttack,
timer runs out.
Yep. They do ready up. We're good to go. Spot zones is always great. And let's see which team is able to get out to that early lead.
Yeah, you see all the potential for Legendries, potential for backliners just to sit back, but we don't see a lot of backlines in this. We see the Dynamo and the Scope, and then we see the Heavy Splatling on the other side.
Yeah, each team deciding to go with one backliner, a pro, and then another midliner, and then a more frontline type weapon. Quick pick, though, for maybe later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with that, they're going to be able to use that momentum to easily take the zone. That brush is in a very bad position and gets taken out.
I'm a little excited to see, actually, the Octobrush Nouveau chosen over the other 2 Octobrushes. The Kenta Octobrush, which is one of my favorite weapons in the game, simply because it gets stamp synergy.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are merits of using the Octobrush Nouveau. Beacons are really important. As you can see, they're able to come back despite the picks because of those beacons.
Yeah, and then also just having missiles is also just very important. Oh, and it looks like MHF was able to just put down their own Booyah Bomb to counter maybe later's Booyah Bomb, but the Stingray coming across is going to put a lot of pressure. They're not able to take the zone with it, but they definitely deterred some more pushing forward.
The zone is hotly contested.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're neck and neck right now. It looks like
they do take the lead.
Yeah, just barely though.
Barely.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to be a very quick push back as we did get a it didn't go on the zone though, the Booyah Bomb, but with the Stingray pressure coming all the way across the map, it does deter TentAttack from continuing to push forward.
We're going to see a lot of these dueling Stingrays throughout the entire game, especially with how flat the middle section of this map is. Stingray is really powerful.
Yeah, Juicy's able to get that jump out so that way they don't end up falling and losing their special progress, especially on a special on this game type as important as the Booyah Bomb.
That's exactly why I recommend running that 1 sub, 2 sub of quick super jump. Little statistic for you, 1 sub saves 0.6 seconds on your super jump. You don't realize it until you have it on, and you can't go back to the way it was before.
Yeah, and that trade on the zone is only going to help TentAttack continue to push this lead forward. It's really close back and forth. Both teams are getting tons of picks. Oh, wow. Yeah. As I'm saying, both teams are getting picks left and right. No one's getting a real team fight win. Looks like Muna's able to also take out the canopy from the Brella on the other side. And is just trying to put pressure on this bridge by hanging out right in the middle.
Yeah, very large pressure coming from TentAttack. But we do see maybe later get the cap. Very, very strong counterplay from them.
Yeah,
and 11 points is not a lead in splat zones.
Yeah, and if you noticed, Yan was actually pushed way back and was triple teamed, not just double teamed, triple teamed, and was still able to get the jump out, saving their progress on the armor. That's very important because that's going to be huge for helping them keep that lead.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Juicy staying aggressive, making sure that TentAttack will be punished for taking a couple people down, and they are coming up on that lead very quickly.
And here's that classic Splat Zones camp. They're going to use the Stingray to try and push people out, but this is a really good placement for the Booyah Bomb, trying to deter them from coming back down.
Maybe
the Charger
later with the lead.
Yeah, and the Charger can get that pick that can really finalize the game, but
there's the KO.
Yeah. Looks like maybe later was able to take this one back.
Yeah, really impressive game from both sides. Maybe later, they were in a tough spot, but it takes one good push, and they're able to keep up the pressure. And that's why Zones is considered one of the most – we're coming back to the subject, and that's why it's one of the most competitive modes in the game.
Yeah, and you definitely saw the story of that match in the KAs. It was definitely much more in favor of maybe later. They were able to get way up on picks compared
TC Anchovy, that's what it is.
Yeah. Compared to their opponents. And we're going to be going to TC on Anchovy Games, as Sean had mentioned. Mako. That's the wrong map.
There it is.
There we are. And we're all good with the teams, and I'm not seeing any issues, so.
So Anchovy Games is one of those maps that came back from Splatoon 1. Mostly unchanged, a little bit of changes. There was really not a lot of change from the tower control itself.
Yeah. But one thing that did get added, of course, was all those checkpoints. That was the quickest I am ready to go and splat this other team I have seen in a while. Both teams just knowing what they're going to do right away. No second thoughts. They're going right into it. And yeah, let's see what happens here.
There's mutual respect. They are ready to play. I think we're all very happy to be here.
Yeah. Oh, and looks like we do have I guess they changed. Yeah, the Kensa Sloshing. What were they? What was the weapon they were before?
So that is Alex. That is demonic. MFH using the
so the Flex player I
first.
See. Yes.
Then the Kensa Pro second. So a true flex, able to play many weapons of many different ranges.
Yeah. And Sinek already with a Stingray. I wonder if they're gonna try and pop it early to put some as I say that.
At the same time.
Yeah.
You know, the Kamehameha is just dueling right at each other.
Yeah, and they're going after one another. They're not even focusing on the rest of the folks on the map. They're trying to get that backline pick because they know that the backline is the player that you need to pick off to be able to start those pushes. Either dislodge them or get them out, so that way you can get started, get some points, and be able to get that lead and get that map control in the middle, because they're going to be the ones that are going to prevent you from really getting anywhere.
As we are on the perspective of the Kensa Sloshing Machine, I just want to point out that while it does have Splashdown, which has been nerfed significantly, being able to control that and have that quick super jump to get a really strong splashdown jump in is something that I really want to see. It's a very powerful tool to have, and it's something I play when I play my splashdown, my Kensa Sloshing Machine, as we see here.
Yeah, and yeah. It doesn't look like TentAttack is really decided to make a full push in. They're kind of just chilling, hanging out behind a little bit. Maybe
I wanted to see the outcome of that. It looks like wow, nice snipe. Kensa Sloshing Machine does take that one.
Yeah, and look at this grouping from all of the players on TentAttack. They're sticking together, not so much together that they can easily get picked off by, say, a Slosher or a Blaster, but they don't even have to worry about that because Maybe Later is not running any really big AoE type of splash damage weapons. They're all single 1v1 type weapons, and that's going to allow them to be able to group up a bit more and really utilize that team synergy, especially on the tower. Yeah, push here stopped at 57 points. Good initial push for TentAttack.
Got past that checkpoint.
Yep.
And yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, nice stingray from Sinek.
This is the one time you don't want to be grouped up, though, if you're TentAttack, because that stingray is going to do a lot of damage.
Can Sinek get that pick? He gets 3 hits on, I want to say, the Octobrush.
Yep, and the Octobrush dashes away and still confirms the splat. Get splatted themselves, but we're into a 3v2 in the favor of TentAttack.
Yeah.
Yeah, just...
yeah, in the favor of TentAttack. That is right. I'm not switching the perspectives anymore, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Wow, what a powerful splash! That was me. I would have gotten hit directly by that missile and gotten destroyed by that. But
yeah, and
nice little bout of RNG, and they're getting a good push out of it too.
Yeah, they were able to really push Maybe Later back into the spawn, and this is going to be really tough. They have the charger on the tower, probably the best place on any offense for the charger, especially on this map.
We see it. We see the splashdown jump in, and it gets them an extra few points.
Yeah.
This final stretch is where that ledge abuse comes in very key into play, because usually on that stretch you have a disadvantage as a defending team, or an advantage as a defending team, but not so much when you have that ledge abuse.
Yeah. All right. So now we see a Booyah Bomb coming out from Maybe Later, trying to get a little bit more map control, but it looks like the brush came and put a little bit more pressure on the tower again.
There's that back cap.
Yep. Stopping that push a little bit before. And Maybe Later is just trying to find a good pick on the back line of TentAttack. Just trying to figure out how to get in here.
Wow, jumps out. What a solid jump out. Holds on to his stingray.
Man, this machine is holding it down.
Really doing major work. Solid splashdown. Can he get this pick? He does get the pick against the undercover Brella. That's the issue with the undercover Brella. You have so much pressure, but on that 1v1, you might be struggling.
Yeah, well, that's why it's not the weapon you go into 1v1s with. It's the weapon that's always supporting your main Slayer. Going to either give them armor, give them a little bit of torpedo help, or just be able to put at least a little bit of chip damage so the main Slayer can get what they need. However, Maybe Later in the last few seconds is making a push. It looks like they've almost, and they are getting through that first checkpoint. They have a lot of good map control, but they really got to look out for...
Oh, there's the Slayers coming back. Here's the Valkyries.
Yeah, but...
There you go.
Oh, and did they know that they were right there on the tower, or did they just get lucky with the swing?
I think they just wanted to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
They have the Octobrush in the back, the Dynamo in the front. Couldn't go wrong there.
Yeah, so Maybe Later does go down 1-2. Really close match here so far. Backliner Snack is doing major work, was able to put a lot of pressure on that push, but it was never enough to really full stop that major push that TentAttack was able to make.
And now we see one of the most hotly debated map and mode combo, Black Belly Rainmaker.
Ooh.
Been reworked tons and tons and tons of times. It was banished by the devs from the first game from all ranked modes because of how bad it was. And we're going to see it right now in a very tightly contested round 3.
Yeah, I actually really like how they updated it to not have the big spire in the center.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
now
definitely.
a lot more flat. It's more accessible. The Rainmaker just kind of sits there, and it's not in this King of the Hill spot. It's in a much more even playing field. It allows for teams to also just see the map a bit more. It's way more open, and it's a lot more comfortable for folks to really try and grab the Rainmaker and run it forward. They're not making these huge leaps of faith to try and get on the ground to be able to get points.
Yeah, just running that swim speed isn't as viable as it used to be. Just pure swim speed just to get a kill in.
Yeah, it's and
it is one of my favorite reworkings though. Black Belly is so well known for its for its big tower in the middle. They
Yeah.
cut it in half for this one. They said, no fear, we don't need it there.
Yeah,
And
might
it's one of my favorite decisions. I wish they did that for zones, actually. Make it more like the Kelp Dome zones and just have one major zone in the middle.
Yeah, but then you take away from another 2-zone map, which were a lot less common in Splatoon 2. And it is a much different game type to really like wrap your head around, because not only do you need to lock down one area, but there's a second area to lock down. It also creates a very easy stall tactic, which gives it gives a lot of different strategies for both offense and defense. But that is not where we're going right now. We're going to Rainmaker. Let's see this beautifully remade Black Belly Rainmaker, and let's see who gets that early pop, what everyone loads out with, and who's going to get that. Are we going to see a 3-1, or are we going to get a Game 5?
You know, very often the initial loadout in Rainmaker can be very important. As we saw in one of maybe later's team games, they got a quick double kill from the pop. So it seems like they will be getting this first pop. Yeah, and that's so much ink control right there.
Yeah, and Rob with the Clash Blaster was in a really bad spot. It was going to be really hard for them to go anywhere.
I say take it, Juicy. I say go grab it. But I think they really want to be clear about having this map control and getting these picks.
Oh, yeah, and of course you want to make sure you get your picks down, because if you go in and you only get maybe 1 or 2 picks, you're not going to be able to get much push on the objective. And look at all this map control. That was a really smart pickup actually by Sinek, making sure that they were able to get the Rainmaker in the right amount of time. But because they were forced out, they ended up getting jumped on by the brush, taken out by Corn now. But that was only, what, 11 points?
Yeah, it was a fast grab, but I still think they sat on it a little bit too long for my tastes.
Yeah, they could have picked it up a couple seconds earlier, but the good patience did allow them to hopefully get a good push.
There's
it was kind of stalled
going in
that
for the flank.
Booyah bomb. Yes. And it looks like it's the Vanilla Splat Rush as well. So probably the least common variant, I would say, after the the permanent ink brush came out with armor of all things.
Armor sprinkler.
Yeah. So if you weren't annoyed by one armor farmer, you now have the second one.
Armor farmer.
Yeah.
Armor farmer.
Yeah. So it looks like we're watching Juicy kind of push forward with their team. They're kind of splitting up, actually. They have both teams are 2 on the left, 2 on the right, even though the objective is on the far, far right. Now, maybe later does get the Rainmaker taken out, and very quick pop for TentAttack. Still back and forth. Only 49 points is the lead for TentAttack.
Yeah, this is anyone's game still, which is good. I'm still hoping to see a Game 5, so a little bit of a commentator bias. I kind of want to see maybe later provide the pressure. But we are seeing that dual defense of the Dynamo and the Splatter Scope coming in very clutch for TentAttack right there.
Yeah, it's a little bit, at least that part of the comp is a little bit of like a Splatoon 1 throwback, because, I mean,
everyone had that Dynamo and Scope. Yeah, absolutely right.
It was all about, yeah. Can you tell we're both Splatoon 1 veterans? Can you tell? But yeah, so we just had a quick Rainmaker reset, let it just kind of run out of time, and head right back to the center.
You know, back in my day, the Rainmaker was a tornado.
Thank God. Thank God it's not that anymore. That was way too jank.
There were techs for solo Rainmaker pushes where you could, I think it was called moonwalking. You could just literally keep firing the Rainmaker back, and the knockback pushed you towards the goal.
Yep. Yeah, and Vanessa here caught out in the middle of maybe later and all of the paint they were just putting on the floor. Looks like Corn is just going to launch some missiles, and the brush out of nowhere getting a pick, but taken out right away. Maybe later it's a 2v3, so this might be a great opportunity for TentAttack to be able to move forward. And as if that maybe later ends up making the push. Are they going the half pipe? It looks like they are.
Half pipe's a pretty solid way to push. I believe that's the way that we saw TentAttack make their initial push.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more of the slow burner push. It's not going to be the one that's going to get you a lot of points instantly, but it's a great way to get a ton of points.
Oh, and maybe later taking 3 people down, unfortunately. They aren't able to make something out of their push, so we will see how they counter in this last minute.
Yeah, and TentAttack is putting a lot of pressure on this front area, even though it looks like they're going half pipe again, but that's probably a smart move. It's going to be able to give them some great flank options, but very easily read. They could see all that paint coming in with the superior range from the Splatling. Just easy takeout.
Ooh, nice snipe. That's so scary to look at. You think the splatter scope's not looking at you, and suddenly you're gone.
Yeah, the flanking charger, when it works, it works. But unfortunately not able to get the pick on the Splatling that was able to take out the Rainmaker. 30 seconds left, and maybe later is in a decent opportunity to be able to take this lead and push us to a Game 5.
Oh, as we were on the perspective of the charger there, Muna jumps out not once but twice to make sure they get that Stingray off. And as you can see, it stops him short of the lead at 54. That might have been play of the game right there, and honestly play of the series if they end up taking this game.
Yeah, and they're going to just launch this Booyah Bomb in to try and get a pick,
yeah, they're going to run back.
Muna's just going to run back all the way to the Volcano and secures this, a 3-1 for TentAttack.
I think that was play of the game right there. Wow. That
Yeah.
100% saved them the game.
Yeah, so we didn't get that hot Game 5, but we got a 3-1 in favor of TentAttack. Maybe later we'll get their opportunity for revenge in the bracket stage, but we're
When will they get the revenge, Hermie? Maybe later.
Yeah, maybe later.
Maybe later.
Maybe later. But yeah, so with that, our pools have ended.